Hello. So today I was going to do an unboxing on my new 1860 Army. This is my old one. This one was made in 1980. This is a Euro Arms of America. Not sure if you're going to be able to see that, but I believe it was made by Army San Marco. I've had this for quite a while actually, but we're not here to see that one at the moment. So I got this off of Midway USA, and it is a Pietta. So it comes in a box. This box comes in another box. So we'll set that aside. So inside we've got some shooting information. There's some stuff there if you're interested. I think you can download all that. Comes with a book. This isn't just for this one. This one is, I believe, for all of the ones that they have. There's a Patterson. There's a 1851. There's the 1860. I do like that they have the breakdown. They have all the parts. So if you needed to order something else, you could, an extra cylinder or locking pin. And then it comes in this styrofoam box that was a little beat up. And it's all wrapped and covered in oil. So we'll pull this out. And I think I want to wipe it down before I get oil all over the place. But there's the first look. So let me wipe this down and we'll be right back. Okay, so I got it all wiped down, and I've got my old one back here, and here's the new one. It does still have the tag on there, so we'll just take this tag off. And I believe this just has the serial number on it. We don't need that. So my first impressions is, it feels good. This one is a little bit heavier. I'm not sure why, but I've had this for so long, it just feels good. This does feel like a different gun. I believe the grips are about the same size, just, of course, a different color. This is more of a blonde wood. You can see how on this one it's a little proud right here. This does have the notch out on the bottom, just like this one does. And I like that the back strap here is blued. This one is just brass. There's absolutely no crown on the front. This one there is. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there's a little bit of a crown there. And this has got some holster wear, and this one's been banged around, but the loading lever, this little catch right here, is different. It's kind of more straight. I'm not sure how well you can see that. You can see that there. And if we pull this one here, this one's a little bit more beveled, I guess. And this one is worn out. And this one's not. This is nice and tight in there. Everything locks up really nice. There's no gap in here at all. There's not really a gap in this one either. There is a little bit, and I know this one's worn out, so I don't use it that often anymore. That's why I wanted a new one. But Let's take them both apart and we'll compare. Okay, so I've got them apart. Of course, the wedge is a bit tighter in this one, but that's to be expected because this one's new. However, this screw doesn't really capture this like this one does. That could be design flaw, I'm not sure. This one here, you know, the loading lever's in there nice and tight. You have to actually remove this screw so you can pull this out if you need to, if you want to clean it. This one here, I can show you, it's so worn out, it just comes out. You can see how the lugs in there are just worn. So sometimes when you're loading this one, this will slip. So I don't load it this way. Onto the cylinders. They seem to be about the same size. This one likes 457 round balls. They say to use 454 in these, and this one. This scene, I believe, is laser engraved, and I think this one's just roll stamped. You can kind of see there. The receivers. I do need to go through and clean this one. I just kind of wiped it down. I mean, everything feels fine. There's a little bit of a burr right there, so I need to take care of that. And there's one on this side as well. These edges are pretty sharp, so I'll get a stone on that. The case coloring is pretty good. Like I said, this was made in 1980, and that still looks good as well. All these screws are worn out. You can see the hammer has been burned up there. So as far as are parts interchangeable? Well, let's see. Let's grab this cylinder. I'll put it in the new receiver. Let's grab the old barrel. May as well go for it, right? And oh, they do go in there. However, this locking lug will not go through the arbor, and you can see how much space is on there. So what about just the cylinder? And I did notice that this barrel, these little lugs down here, it's pretty tight, so there we go. It does seem to, no, see, it doesn't. So this does not work with it. So we won't mess around with that too much. And I would go to guess that if it doesn't work in here, this one's not going to work in there. But there it is. These are pretty easy to put back together. I'll do a half cock. Slide this back on. And we'll put this wedge back in here. Let's just give that a little tap. That looks good. It locks up pretty good. I'm not seeing any scratches down here on the cylinder. However, on this one here, you can see there's scratches and there's wear. This one is just worn out. So we'll put this one back on. This one goes on nice and easy. but this one's also 42 years old. Give this one a little tap. So there we go. So if you've never shot one of these, one of the things that you want to be aware of is it's got a very light trigger on them. So don't be surprised the first time you shoot it. So there you go. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and I'm going to take it out and go do some shooting with it. Alright, so I was going to use some of the 777, the loose powder, but it is a little windy out today, so I'm going to use these Pyrodex pellets. These have a 30 grain charge. It's really easy to use them when you're out here and it's a little bit windy. So I've already loaded it up. I'm using some number 11 caps. They felt a little bit loose, but we'll see. My other one uses number 10s. So I do have some Slick Shots nipples on order for this, so when those come in I'll put those on and I'll try it. So anyway, I've got a target out there about, I don't know, 8 or 10 yards. So I know that these things shoot a little high, so I'm gonna aim pretty low on the target and see where we're at. Lots of people driving around today. It's a beautiful day in northern Nevada, so let's get going. Oh, I better get my earplugs in. Would hate to get the safety police after us. These things can get pretty loud. You're always going to want to wear hearing protection. So, all right. I normally load 5, but since I'm standing in front of the target, I did load 6. So let's see how it does. So this has a pretty light trigger, not as light as my my old one, but I think it's light just because it was worn out. It does feel really good to be out here again, and I just noticed right there the little pin is coming out for my little catch, so I'll have to address that. Again, this is a Pietta. So let me take you over to the target and show you where I was aiming and where I was hitting. All right. So I was aiming for down in here, and I got one there. It looks like I might have 2 there. There's one there, there, and there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're just all right in here. You know, it is what it is. It's still a fun gun. Black powder guns are cheap, guys. It's a little bit slower of a pace just because of the loading. You can't just run and gun with it. Back in the day, they'd have 6 rounds and then you had a hammer. So anyway, so that's going to do it for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.